Holman Bibles has just released 3 new premium Bibles in their handcrafted collection in 3 different translations: CSB, NASB, and KJV. And they've also unveiled 2 new marbled calfskin colorways. And before I show you all of those, I am going to go ahead and admit right here that what I just told you is not totally true, because actually they've released 4 new premium Bibles. One of them is the all-new premium She Reads Truth Bible, which comes in this beautiful cloth overboard special case, box I guess you would call it. Absolutely stunning. But you know what? I'm not an idiot. If I tried to review this Bible without my lovely wife here, many of you would be very upset with me, and I know she would be upset with me. So, for fear of losing my own life, I'm going to save that one. We'll come back next week with a review of the all-new premium She Reads Truth Bible. But today we have the 3 new ones. So 2 of them are giant print Bibles, which I know a lot of you are going to be very excited about. The CSB giant print and the KJV giant print. But they're not exactly the same. So I'm going to show you the differences in this video. 12-point typeface, big, bold, premium Bibles. I like this a lot. The other is a Bible that's already in their line. It's the large print THINLINE Bible in the NASB, but up until now, it's only been available in goatskin. So they're bringing it into the marbled calfskin options that they've been offering in all of their Bibles the last couple years. So, and by the way, I just love these boxes. I love that they do the blue for the CSB, the red for the KJV, and the green for the NASB. I'm going to get these out of here so we can focus on the Bibles a little bit. But they do a really good job with their branding and the look and the feel of everything. So here we go. These are the original, last year's first run of the marbled calfskin. We had burgundy, slate, and tan. These over here, you see the 3 Bibles that I was just talking about in 2 new colorways: olive and chestnut. So now the Holman Handcrafted collection has 5 options when it comes to the marbled calfskin colorways that they're offering. Not all of these Bibles are available in all of these colorways. So for example, all 3 of the new ones right now are only available in olive or chestnut. They're not available in these 3 over here. These Bibles over here are not yet available in these colors over here. My guess is that they're slowly going to start to roll out different Bibles in different color options. But it's really cool to see what they're doing. The fact that a year and a half ago, we had 0 marbled calfskin Bibles from Holman, and now we have 5 or 6 or 7 different Bibles themselves in 5 different colorways. I just think it's really cool to see what they're doing. And I'm going to go ahead and say this right here at the beginning of the video. I think that pound for pound, dollar for dollar, I guess I should say, that the Holman Handcrafted collection ranks right up there with any other premium Bible. I just checked online. Whether you go to, now Holman is a part of Lifeway. If you go to Lifeway's website, you go to Amazon, Christianbook.com, you can get these brand new premium Bibles for less than $120. Did you hear what I just said? Less than $120 for a beautiful premium Bible with a lovely calfskin cover, edge-lined, Smyth-sewn binding, great paper, great design. Again, pound for pound, dollar for dollar. These are incredible, incredible Bibles, and I'm so excited to show them. So I'm gonna set these aside real quick. These are the ones that I've reviewed in the past. If you go to the playlist for the Holman Handcrafted collection, you can see more of those. So right here, I'm going to set this one aside as well. This is the NASB THINLINE. I'm going to start with the 2 giant prints because I have a feeling many of you are going to be super excited about these. So, Christian Standard Bible, CSB giant print in the Holman Handcrafted collection, KJV. They both come in both of these colors. So if you like the chestnut, but you want the KJV, you can get that. If you like the olive, but you want the CSB, you can get that. So they're both going to be available. I think the headline for these Bibles is a really nice premium Bible with a massive 12-point typeface. The only other premium Bible that I can think of that gets to a 12 was the Legacy Standard Bible from Steadfast Bibles and 316 Publishing. They did a giant print edition that was a 13-point typeface. I really like that Bible as well. But there's a lot of folks who comment on my videos and say, Tim, I really wish that some of these premium Bibles were available in larger type sizes because I need something just a little bit bigger than a 9 or a 10 or an 11. So now you have that. You have a couple of different options, one in the KJV, one in the CSB. And the specs on these are going to be relatively similar, but there's a few places where they're going to be slightly different from one another. So let's just go through the overall specs in general, just the ones that are the same for both of them. They're 6.25 inches wide by 9.25 inches tall, and they're both just a hair under 2 inches thick. So they're big, thick Bibles. They have the same premium calfskin. Again, they're Smythsone bindings, edge-lined. They're going to lay, look at these, they lay really flat right out of the box. These look absolutely great. Now, the typeface on the KJV was designed by 2K Denmark for Holman for these Bibles. They call it MCM. I think MCM stands for 1900. Is that what it stands for? 1900 in Roman numerals. But it's kind of a more classic, it looks like something you might see in more of a historic KJV Bible. To me, the MCM in 12 point, it's also a slightly bolder typeface. It looks bigger on the page than the Bible serif in the CSB edition. So this one of the differences is the typeface. The CSB is going to have the Bible serif typeface designed by 2K Denmark in a 12 point, whereas the KJV is going to have the MCM serif typeface by 2K Denmark. And to me, the MCM just looks a little bit bigger, and it's definitely a more bold typeface when it comes to comparing them side by side. So I think that's one thing to note. You're also going to notice when you look at the page that they have red accents everywhere juxtaposed against the black letter of the text. The CSB edition has textual footnotes, whereas the KJV does not. When I look at this KJV Bible, when I first opened it, I thought, oh, it's like a THINLINE Bible that's just really big because it doesn't have cross references. It doesn't have textual footnotes. It's super clean. I love the red accents on the page, but it really jumps off the page, and they're able to fill the page with the text because they don't have a bunch of other stuff in there. So that's one slight difference is the typeface. The second slight difference is that the CSB edition does have the textual footnotes to the CSB. Another thing you're going to notice that's different about them is that the KJV is a verse-by-verse format, whereas the CSB is a paragraph format everywhere that it's not a poetic typesetting. So it's going to be verse-by-verse in the poetic sections of Scripture, but everywhere else it's going to be a paragraph format. So those are the three differences I thought. And the KJV is red letter for the words of Jesus. So when you get to the New Testament, it's red letter, whereas the CSB is not. So 4 differences that I clocked here. Typeface is different. One has textual footnotes, one does not. One's verse by verse, one's paragraph, and then red letter in the KJV versus black letter text throughout in the CSB. Other than that, they're going to be very, very similar in terms of the trim size. They both have 1-inch margins, which is really nice. If you want to write in these Bibles, you can do that. If you want to underline and highlight, take notes, all of those things, it's going to work really well. Again, the red accents really help me find my place, find the verse number, things like that. I just think they turned out really, really great. They have really nice, lovely premium Bible paper. Now, Holman does not tell us the specs on that in terms of whether it's 28 GSM or 32 GSM. I bet you there's a way for me to, I'm thinking about with my guitars, there's a way to like measure the size of the guitar string. I wonder if there's a way for me to like take an individual piece of paper and measure how thick it is. Would you like to see that? And if so, do you know of a tool that would allow me to measure the paper weight, the thickness? Because I would definitely be interested in doing that. But it is a really nice opaque paper. There's not a lot of ghosting coming through on the page. It's really easy to find your place and to stay connected while you're reading. I think it turned out really, really great. You also have a concordance in the back of these Bibles and full color map. The maps are actually on kind of a nice non-glossy paper, more of a cardstock, which I really like. There's a where to turn section in the back of the CSB Bible, but yeah, it's a really well-designed giant print Bible. Again, I think the headline is 12-point typeface. Another headline would be these new colorways from the Holman Handcrafted collection. So olive and chestnut in both the CSB and the KJV for the giant print. And then you also have olive and chestnut options in the NASB large print THINLINE Bible. Now, I've done a full review of this one already when they brought it out in the Holman Handcrafted collection in the black goatskin. That's a beautiful Bible. This is one of my favorite NASB 2020 Bibles. It just looks great. It's really easy to read. It's got that same Bible serif that they use in the CSB, which really looks really nice. It's got the red accents on the page, paragraph format, but it is a little bit larger because I love THINLINE Bibles. If you've watched my channel, you know that. But the large print THINLINE is going to give us a slightly larger trim size so you can actually get a bigger typeface in there. So when you open this up, it's got a 10.5 point typeface, and the page is 6 1/8 inches wide by 9 1/8 inches wide. So it's a pretty big, it's not a mid-sized Bible. I'd say it's a full-size Bible, but it's very thin. It's only 1 inch thick, but you get a 10.5 point typeface, and it just looks really, really nice. Kind of like the KJV giant print. This does not include the textual footnotes. It does include a few textual footnotes in the NASB, but it doesn't have cross references. It's not over the top. Like I'm looking at a page right here that has no footnotes in it whatsoever. So you're going to get a few of the core footnotes throughout. Here's another page where there's like 2 or 3 on each page. But it's really just a Bible that's made for you to sit down and read and enjoy, and I think it does a really great job. It really turned out great, and I think it looks super sharp. So if you want to see a full deep dive on this Bible, I will put a link in the video description to my full review that I did. I think it was just last year that I did that. But again, headline here, they've expanded this to be in these new options. So you've got a couple of green options. You've got, I guess all 3 of these are available in green and or chestnut. So here's what I want you to do. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Which one of these do you like better? Do you like the olive green or do you like the chestnut? Olive green has been very popular lately with a lot of Bible publishing companies that are going with this more marbled olive green look. But this is kind of more of what I would call a British tan. Now, this one over here from last year is called tan. It's more of a brown. This chestnut is what I'd call more of a British tan, a little bit lighter, a little bit more of an orange hue to it. Both are great. I actually, okay, would you go chestnut or green? And then would you go, would you push away chestnut or green and go with slate or burgundy or tan? Which one of these colors is your favorite and why? I'm going to put a link in the video description as well to some of my other Holman Handcrafted collection reviews, because they've literally in like the past, like when did the Handcrafted collection, it came out like 4 or 5 years ago, and they've now got a couple dozen different Bibles that are available in calfskin, goatskin, really nice, like very well done premium Bibles. Like I said earlier, they're just great value for the money. I think they do an awesome job with it, and the fact that they're getting so creative with different leather, different colors, it's really cool to see Bible publishers doing unique things. And I know for a fact that Holman is one of those companies that is listening to us. They're listening to people like me, but they're also checking out the comments and seeing what y'all are saying to me about these Bibles. So I think you can be rest assured that when you comment on these videos, that Bible publishers are actually paying attention. When you comment on Facebook or Instagram, they're staying apprised of what you think, and they're trying to give you some more options. For example, they know that a lot of you wanted larger typefaces in your premium Bibles. And here we have a publisher responding to that call and offering it to us, which I think is really, really awesome. So if you have any thoughts or questions, please drop those in the comments and let me know. As always, I do this in all my videos. I'll put links in the video description to where you can purchase these online, whether it's from Lifeway, Amazon, Christian Book. You can surf around and find the best deal. I tell people sometimes Amazon drops prices and the publishers don't really have any control of that. So I try to keep an eye on good sales that are happening on Amazon and let you know. So that's another good reason to follow along on social media. Stay in tune to what we're doing, because I'm going to share the best deals that I can. So surf around. Definitely check out some of my other videos. And again, if you have thoughts or questions, you can drop those in the comments. Thanks to my friends at Lifeway and Holman Bibles for sharing these Bibles with me so that I can share them with you. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.